Welcome back to the SHTICK. With me I have as a special guest this week Dr Dvir Abramovich.
Hi Henry, how are you?
Good.
Glad to be here.
Fantastic to have you on the SHTICK.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'd like to ask you, what's your SHTICK?
Well, I've just been elected, in fact yesterday, so it's less than 24 hours ago, to be the new chair of the B'nai B'rith Anti-Defamation Commission.
Mazel tov.
Thank you very much. And as a little boy who grew up in the southern town of Beersheba in Israel, I'm very honored and accepted the position with a great sense of service and humility, and I'm very proud to lead this very strong, very hard-working organization.
And tell the viewers what the ADC is all about.
Well, the ADC has been in existence for 33 years, and its mandate is to combat anti-Semitism, hatred, racism, and all forms of bigotry.
And vilification.
And vilification, that's right. And we do it through a range of strategies, through educational programs, we do it through position papers, through high-level representations to government, to communal agencies, and we also, of course, monitor extremists, we report on incidents, we try and assist victims of anti-Semitism. So it's a holistic approach. And we have a range of activities and initiatives that we're involved with.
And it's partly to do with security, to make people feel like they're being looked after if they are attacked in any way or vilified or whatever happens.
Absolutely. The Anti-Defamation Commission is often the first port of call for people. But it's I think, more broadly than just, in a sense, combating and fighting prejudice and anti-Semitism. It's also about promoting the values of inclusion and tolerance. We believe that all Australians deserve to feel safe and secure, no matter where they come from or what their last name is or what they look like. So we work collaboratively with other faith communities. We run a program, for example, that's called the Multi-Faith Future Program, whereby we gather leaders, young leaders from different faith communities, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, and we take them to a retreat for a few days. And when they finish the program, when they graduate from the program, they become ambassadors for the values of the ADC, but also they become vehicles of reason and those who will celebrate difference within their communities.
And the big word is tolerance.
The big word is tolerance. The big word is understanding that diversity is strength, that you can celebrate difference.
Totally.
Another battleground for us is the internet. I've always believed that the internet is a wonderful thing, but it also provides hate mongers and extremists with a megaphone, with a forum to disseminate hatred through Facebook, through YouTube.
And I call that impropaganda.
Exactly, exactly. It's a good word.
I made that up.
So the internet is unregulated, and young adults, children are much more vulnerable than ever before. So one of the things that we do is we run a program in schools, Jewish and non-Jewish schools, called Click Against Hate.
What is it?
Click Against Hate.
Click Against Hate. So it's got to do with the internet.
Yes, that's right.
And Facebook.
And Facebook and YouTube
and you were telling me about the Holocaust deniers on Facebook. And,
yes. So several months ago, 21 Holocaust survivors wrote a letter to Facebook asking them to take down Holocaust denial websites. And Facebook very stupidly, I think immorally, refused to do so, saying that we don't edit or we don't censor, we don't take pages which express a view, no matter how ignorant it is. So I wrote an op-ed for The Age and the Sydney Morning Herald, and I said, this is unconscionable, this is hate speech. If you look at the Holocaust denial websites, the way they demonize, the way they characterize Jews is terrible, it's horrific. So what we do with the Click Against Hate is that we empower young adult students how to deal with hatred, with hate speech that they can encounter on Wikipedia or Facebook. Robert Kennedy, the late Senator Robert Kennedy, said that when we fail to speak up or speak up, we are striking a blow against decency. And I think it's very important. That's the kind of teachable moment that we try and instill within those students. Speak up, don't be a bystander. Tell your parents, tell a teacher, but don't be on the sideline and shrug your shoulders and say that this is okay.
So in everyday life, you are actually an academic.
I am, yes.
I wanted to cover a little bit about Dvir Abramovich. because you are a professor.
Yes, I'm head of Jewish studies at the University of Melbourne. Excuse me.
So that's your real gig.
That's my real gig. You know, that's my shtick.
Yeah, that's your real
That's
shtick.
my shtick.
So the ADC is something to do as a voluntary. It's a voluntary post.
Right. I've always seen, in a sense, my Jewish identity intimately linked with my communal activism. I think, you know, they're part and parcel of being a Jew. You know, contributing in some significant and meaningful way. But, you know, during the daylight, I work at the University of Melbourne.
And you've written 3 books already?
I have. So I edited a book called Testifying to the Holocaust, which looked at the various representations and ways the Holocaust testimony is articulated.
Yep.
And over the last 2 years, I've written 2 books to do with Israeli literature. The first one is called Back to the Future, Israeli literature of the 1980s and 1990s. And what I did in brief was to look at the huge shifts and transformations in Israeli society that took place in those 2 decades.
They certainly did.
Through the books that were written, through the novels and the short stories that were written.
Yeah.
And the book, which was launched a few months ago, which you
filmed,
you filmed and covered, is called Hebrew Classics: A Journey Through Israel's Timeless Fiction and Poetry. And the idea is to introduce the English reading public to a range of classic novels and short stories. People like Amos Oz, Yehuda Amichai, Bialik, really to open a window to those treasures.
And you're also now writing a book, The Wizardry of Amos Oz.
Yes, I'm writing, this is going to be the first book written in English on Amos Oz, who, as you know, is Israel's most celebrated author. He's been nominated for the Nobel Prize for several times. He's won a slew of awards.
Yeah.
In fact, I nominated Amos Oz a few years ago for an honorary doctorate at the University of Melbourne, which he accepted in 2011.
Yes,
and by doing so became the first Israeli citizen to be awarded an honorary doctorate by the University of Melbourne.
Fantastic. And you are the first Israeli-born chair of the ADC.
I am.
You were born in Beersheba.
I was born in Beersheba, yes.
Which means that you are within target range of the rockets that are coming from the Gaza Strip.
I have to say that I'm sort of still rubbing my eyes in disbelief that, you know, the town in which I grew up in which most of my family is still there, is being subjected to all those rockets and all those missiles, you know, that people are being held hostage by this genocidal group, by the terrorist group Hamas. And I think that when you look at the situation, it's a tragedy in the full sense of the word. Not just the present situation, but the fact that the Palestinians are being denied the right to live in peace by their own people. That they're being held hostage.
By the radicals.
Yeah, by Hamas.
Yes.
You look at what's happening in the West Bank, we are not seeing this kind of turmoil.
No.
But Hamas is hell-bent, you know, it's in their charter, to destroy Israel.
But they've been getting all these rockets and they've got to do something with them.
I mean, people tend to
It's
forget.
ridiculous.
Exactly. People tend to forget that Israel evacuated every single settlement from Gaza
in 2005
in the disengagement. It gave the Palestinians, really for the first time, a real opportunity to build up a state. I remember Abba Eben, who used to be Israel's foreign minister, saying that the Palestinians never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity.
Yes, and this is
I think
another one.
This is very clear.
And this is an opportunity for us to go to the break. And we're going to come back after the break with more of Dvir Abramovich and the current situation in Gaza, and the Arab-Israeli conflict will be discussed in greater detail, particularly the rally that occurred this week at Princess Park.
Yes, very important.
See you after the break.